Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live, the last day of May, May 31st. It is Wednesday. Even though we worked on Monday, I still feel off. Like it's not Wednesday. And you guys, just before we started, said May went really fast for you guys. So lots to talk about before we jump into it. I want to remind you, of course, we make this into a podcast. You can find it later today. Just go to inforum.com/podcast and look for the InForum Minute. We're also on our InForum YouTube channel and, of course, live now, but you can watch it anytime throughout the day on your Facebook feed. And we're kind of stuck in the same pattern. Last weekend it was like windy, windy, windy. Now it's kind of like hot, stormy, hot, stormy.
Yes, yeah, and we like calm down in the morning, and we get the sun, and then we do it again in the afternoon, where more pop-up showers and storms will be possible today. Just like yesterday. Yesterday there was some hail, especially on the Minnesota side. Fertile, Georgetown picked up some of that hail. A pontoon flipped over near Bemidji, so kind of some feisty storms developed yesterday. And we can easily see that happen again for today. They're going to start kind of in the southwest and then I think swing up to the northeast. Most folks will stay dry, but it might be one of those days where you do see this thunderstorm off in the distance, where you can tell like, oh yeah, there's a big towering cloud over there where it is storming. Otherwise, temp near 90 this afternoon. Not much for wind, so that's kind of nice. I don't expect the hair to be moving too much today. If you are out and about though, there's no real good breeze to cool you off. So you might need to drink water, find shade. UV index up to an 8 today, so I just think it'll turn into a toasty afternoon. And then again, we'll watch for those storms to bubble up. We'll do this again tomorrow, and Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday. Early next week, still warm, but I think that thunderstorm risk starts to dwindle a little bit, so maybe drier next week. Lots of folks, of course, still need rain, so we don't want to pish-posh on these storm chances, but it could rain on your parade a little bit for today. If you have outdoor plans, I would just kind of keep the radar app handy. Can check it, see if any storms are bubbling up in your direction. I always tell kids when thunder roars, head indoors, because if you're hearing thunder, then you're within the vicinity of a thunderstorm and it's time to head inside. Lightning can strike up to 20 miles away from a thunderstorm. So,
oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a good distance away. You know, if you're in Fargo and there's a thunderstorm at Castleton, it's possible that you can have a lightning strike 20 miles away from that cell on the radar. So just something to think about. I think that's it.
We were talking about this morning, kind of the tale of 2 months.
It's
been a really warm May, but it was a cold, kind of crappy April.
It was, we went from freezing to frying is what we had the title of the graphic as. So April, it was the 15th coldest April on record in Fargo, 9th coldest in Grand Forks. So top 10 coldest April on record. Average temperature for the month of April was like 30 something. Wow. Remember how long it took us to get to 40? We talked about it for a long time.
Yeah, we did.
A lot of days we were like, oh, still not 40. We ended up placing the second longest streak of being sub 40. It was like 100 and some days. I can't remember the number
days. Too many
off
days.
The top of my head. Yeah. And then all of a sudden May happened, and once you get rid of snow and the soil dries up, the temperature just shoots up. Especially in the valley where you have darker soils, blacker, richer soils. Those warm up quickly, just because of their darker color. Just like when you wear black in the sun, you feel hotter than if you wear white in the sun. It's called albedo. So then May happened and we melted all of that snow and the temperature quickly shot up, and we've been in the 80s and the 90s for several weeks now, a couple weeks at least.
I think you said it yesterday. It feels like July.
Yes.
Like it's a nice hot stretch, but it's still May. It's the last day of May, but it's been a couple days.
And we even had a little humidity yesterday, which makes it feel even hotter. Dew point's got in the mid 60s yesterday.
Oh, wow.
That's noticeable.
Yeah.
So this will end up being the second warmest May on record for Fargo and third warmest for Grand Forks.
That's impressive.
So, not record breaking, but notable. Yeah, exactly. And it's been sweaty, so I wouldn't mind if it cooled off a little bit. I always say if it's going to be this hot, get me to the lake. I want to be at the lake if it's going to be this warm. So that's that.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
stuff. All right, jumping into some of our news headlines for you this morning. Right now, Fargo Police are asking for your help in finding a missing boy this morning. They're looking for 12-year-old Anthony Cooper. He was last seen in the 100 block of Prairiewood Drive South on Monday. Fargo Police do have his picture posted on their Facebook page, but he's described as having brown eyes, brown hair. He may be wearing a black hoodie and black and white Nike tennis shoes. If you have any information on where he might be, please call Fargo Police.
New this morning, one person has been arrested following a high-risk search warrant in West Fargo. It happened about 8 o'clock last night near the 200 block of 9.5 Avenue West. The Red River Valley SWAT team used a flashbang device in order to catch the suspects without putting anyone in danger. West Fargo Police tell us that one person was ultimately arrested during that search and that there is no threat to the public. WDAY is working to learn exactly who was arrested and what charges they could be facing. Of course, stick with us for updates on that story.
The Fargo Police Department is taking part in the 30 by 30 pledge, which aims to help bring more women into policing. As part of the pledge, the department will review recruitment, hiring, retention, and promotion processes. Right now, women make up just 12% of sworn officers and 3% of police leadership in the U.S. The 30 by 30 goal is to have the percentage increase to 30% by 2030.
New this morning, firefighters in Bemidji, Minnesota were exposed to anhydrous ammonia and had to be decontaminated after putting out a fire in the city's industrial park. Firefighters were called out to the Northwoods Ice Building. It was in the industrial park on Monday afternoon. The building, a total loss after the fire. And firefighters weren't actually able to get inside right away because of the heavy smoke, intense heat, and low visibility from all that smoke. They say a large amount of anhydrous ammonia actually started leaking out of the building. So the Minnesota State Hazardous Materials Chemical Assessment Team was called in. They evacuated several nearby buildings. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but firefighters were monitored for symptoms of exposure to dangerous chemicals. That fire is still under investigation, but is believed to be accidental at this point.
Today, the East Grand Forks School Board is having a special meeting to discuss options for a new interim superintendent. It comes after Mike Kolnis stepped down from the position last March. He took a job at Kindred Schools. The board was hoping to start doing interviews this month, but instead they suspended the search and decided for now to have an interim superintendent until the closer to fall. The meeting tonight to discuss this is at 6 o'clock at the high school.
Today, a summer meal program will be starting in Moorhead. That's they had their last day of school and last week, and they're starting those summer meal programs now. They're actually serving meals right now as we speak. They're for about 5 more minutes, I think. They started just after 7 o'clock this morning. Those summer meal programs for Moorhead area public schools run until August 18th. Breakfast will be served from 7:15 to 8:15 at Reinertson, Ellen Hopkins, and Robert Asp schools. And then for lunch, you can eat at those same schools Monday through Friday. It's 11 to noon. But Tuesday through Friday, you can also get lunch at Queens Park, Arrowhead Park, and Romkey Park as well, excuse me. But one big change this year is that pickup is no longer available. So all those meals must be eaten on site.
Big story we've been tracking for you. We're seeing some movement now this week. The debt ceiling deal agreed to by President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is now headed to the floor of the U.S. House for a full vote. Debate's going to get underway. A vote could actually happen today as well. Of course, the House Rules Committee voted yesterday to advance the bill, clearing a major hurdle for the legislation. If it passes in the House, it goes on to the Senate, and of course the countdown is on. We were saying the 1st of June. Well, the 1st of June is Thursday, but the Treasury Department saying what, Monday would be the end. Like we can't pay our bills at that point. So
deadlines seem to spur action. We'll continue to follow that story as it unfolds. Hot Mic today with Dom Izzo from 9 to 11 this morning on WDAY Extra and InForum.com. The Twins have turned to the future and they're trying to re-energize the offense. Dick Bremer joins from Houston where they're playing the Astros. Plus, meet Kenmare's Jacob Rodin. He made history this weekend on the track and will represent NDSU on the biggest stage. So exciting stuff there.
Kenmare Honkers, that's from my neck of the woods. So interesting, I'll have to tune in to Hot Mic. Okay, don't forget, you can get a great deal right now on your InForum.com subscription, 99 cents a month for your first 3 months. Just go to InForum.com/subscribe to check out that deal.
Yeah, lots of good content there. Make sure to take advantage of the deal. And remember to join us for our newscast the rest of the day. Our next one's at 11 o'clock. And then we got you covered this afternoon, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. We'll be back tomorrow morning with First News from 5 to 7 a.m.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.